guys, and of course, as always, welcome back to, well, the Ultimate Battle League Season 5. Hey, and we're absolutely are doing this. I've been longing for making a league for quite some time, and the reason that haven't necessarily been done has been because the time hasn't been there. Got a promotion at work before the summer, and it is very, very demanding. While I do love it, I also recognize that I lost a part of myself, the thing that makes you relax, and leagues does that for me. I like being creative and competitive, and I like to play a children's game for adults. So here's where I am. Now, this draft didn't necessarily go as I planned. You guys know, right? You always get sniped somewhere down the line, and I didn't have a draft plan before I got my first pick. I was picking in round 7. And, I felt fortunate that I could pick something of high value, but I never been sniped first round after I made my pick. Like, once I got my first draft Pokemon, I figured, yes, the world is wide open, and then no, get the fuck out of here, and I'm back to square one. So, I didn't necessarily end up with any of the Pokemons I sought out to do, and it felt like every time I planned something, it was gonna get drafted by somebody else, and it was phenomenal. Now, before I go into the ones I drafted and my thought process behind them, I do want to give a special thanks to Ashanakai Eric, longtime friend from Britain. You're a wonderful man. Thank you for standing up and helping me in the front office. Really, without this guy, there would be no Scandinavian style, and this would be not without you. Same thing with Irish Emerald. Irish has been a long time, absolutely friend, but more, he is the creative source and the sanity in my voice. He is absolutely telling me when I'm getting out of line, and since that tend to be the usual stuff, he's always keeping me in check, and I couldn't thank him enough for it. So with that said, also, Irish, thank you for helping out with this strat. I really mean that. Which Pokemon did I decide to go with? Well, first round, I got Melmetal. You guys get this right. I got the Melmetal, the Pokemon that is busted. If you're going to, of course, by Rhydon Phillip, the Council of the NU, that is a busted Pokemon that should not be allowed in any competitive Pokemon. It got banned from OU for all the right reasons, so I figured, let's grab that. I was so surprised it managed to stay afloat or be around for that long, but only that it made it all the greater. I never used Melmetal. I faced it twice, got destroyed by it twice, so that's cool. And now I am on that, no longer on that receiving end. Now I have to, of course, indulge in the punishment. And I figured, I'm good. I'm doing good things here. So I figured if I get Melmetal, I need to get its number 1 check, which is Rotom Heat, who went, was it 2 turns after me? So that was out of the question. So I was thinking, right, we're gonna get rotom-wash eventually, but taking that route, I also need to get a dragon that I know can fill the role of what a steel type usually do with Sub Rock. So I want a combo, and that went also first round. So hey, we are doing great. But I got Rotom-wash, and Rotom-wash is also somewhat of a check, if not the number 1 check to get with Rotom Heat, as a good response to Melmetal. I figure getting these responses are better than actually drafting something to compensate Melmetal. You can always get there eventually, but there are apex defensive Pokemon that pushes it back, and Rotom-wash and Heat are that. So getting Rotom-wash, phenomenal. I might not necessarily enjoy its playstyle, but the thing it does do for the team is allowing Melmetal to be all that more effective. Of course, alleviating it, of taking earthquake damage unless you're extra with Moldbreaker, and taking Flare Blitzes or if you are forced to. So it made sense. For my third pick, I was thinking Conkeldurr, so that went. The second I thought it got picked. So I went with Scyther. I went with Scyther for one reason. I had no idea what to get. I felt that was timer stalling, and I couldn't be too passive, so I figured, fine, I'll get it. And here's where Irish comes into the picture. First telling me what an idiot I am for getting Scyther, it's not that good, but it was a very, very, it was on the, we have like a point here from 200 to 20. This was in the 40. This was NU value in a UU package. Scyther is amazing. I figure I'm stressing people out just by using it, and hopefully I'll get something out of that. But Irish here really got involved with me thinking, get your fairy dragon steel core, figured it out, and I did. I actually got Hatterini to follow up with. While Hatterini might have been one of the earlier, or might bit on the earlier side to get, Hatterini do two things for me. Magic bounce, which means I don't necessarily need to think about defog with rotom all the time. It could actually fill that niche or role for me if I'm forced to. And number two, Trick Room for Melmetal to be as effective as it possibly could be. Melmetal is necessarily not a Trick Room sweeper, but it's slow enough to where it thrives in Trick Room, and that's what I'll do. It's gonna be phenomenal just getting that right. Are there issues with that? Yeah, but I'm necessarily not gonna bother with them. I might be forced to dealing with it, but I don't see it as a too bad of a Pokemon to pick up, in contrast to what I want to do with Melmetal, which in the end of the day is going to be the focus of this team. Next Pokemon was, I'll just say it as it is, I was aiming for Dragon, so that went. So I got Haxorus. I actually used Haxorus before, and I like Haxorus. I haven't used it in Generation 8 meta, but it's dumb to plan for. I hate it. And so I figured that's probably going to be the environment my opposing players are at. Haxorus is speedy enough, and Dragon Dance, Soul Stance, First Impression, Scale Shot. The thing is, it breaks apart teams naturally, and most people hate it for it because it just is straight up punishment, damage, and pressure, and it does all of that quite effortlessly. I like it. I think it's one of those Pokemon you hate facing, but at the same time, it's great that it exists. So, sorry about that. So I figured Haxorus is going to be just awesome as is. And now things get rather problematic. I have a decent enough 5 rounds of Pokemon, but here's where my desires, together with Irish desires, with Ash and Akai's or Eric's desires, kind of clash. It's not that we aren't in disagreement or anything like that, but we have an ultimate goal, which is demanding that I get certain Pokemon for it to kind of lock together. So our next pickup here was to either I get Rhydon to make sure I get a lower point ground, and Rhydon is awesome as ace, really, and getting that early because I think it was 40 points like Scyther. Or I get that speed tier, which has so much need. I need an Apex or elite speed tier to kind of pressure my opponents naturally. So eventually I went with the speed tier and I got Salazzle. I'm not going against saying that it was bad getting Salazzle. It is. I've used it in such great lengths with diverse move pools that I know Salazzle is a phenomenal Pokemon, but it was absolutely on the expense of not getting Rhydon because it went directly after. It was like somebody knew this guy won it. So I was in a pickle. I either get Gigalith, which makes my following pickups a lot harder because the dual stab combination is now going to get kind of resigned, or I get Rhyperior, which is more on the expensive side, and it will also mean that eventually I might not be able to get Meanwhile, which was the goal here. I wanted to save Meanwhile because I figured Meanwhile was a Pokemon that was so expensive that the other ones was not going to get it. I had a higher budget because I got Scyther, so the solution was to get Ryan, of course, but eventually I figured I can get Meanwhile anyway, but it will be in contrast of actually losing up with some other Pokemon, but I thought it was alright. So I got Rhyperior, so Meanwhile went the second after I made that call. I was like, what's the point of drafting? There is, like, I could have absolutely waiting on this. I know that. And Rhyperior is not a bad Pokemon either. And in a Trick Room, come on, it's awesome. But yeah, that kind of bothered me. Because this meant basically that the remaining 4 Pokemon I would get was heavily based on luck, because now it was nothing that made sense for it to kind of clash together. I did eventually, however, follow this up with getting Sneasel. Because I think I get Sneasel and I get Decidueye, and then I try to wrap something up with a Fighting type. So, well, Decidueye went. Of course it did. Delmise was long gone, by the way. So I followed this up with the next pickup. Why did I get right? I haven't told you the reason Rhyperior Sneasel is awesome. Rhyperior, defined as one of the best OU Pokemon right now, because the choice banded set is phenomenal. Without hidden power at all, grass, water, without anything like that, Rhyperior now it has a defined switch in where it forces Pokemon out. It can't set up, it cannot stealth rock, it can just devastate things. Love it. Sneasel is gonna be banned from NU anytime. Sneasel didn't necessarily get better this generation, but it's always been good. One could argue it got somewhat of a nerf with losing Pursuit, but it also got Triple Axle, which is, I think it is defined as the strongest ice move, granted that it connects all 3 hits. But that's also knockoff together with filler moves such as Low Kick and a High Speeder. I like it. I could consider dropping it, but I like it. So anyway, the Decidueye went, yeah, cool. So I had to get Gourgeist. Now, Gourgeist is not a bad Pokemon. I feel like I'm starting off with that, like, my pick makes sense. But I was trying to get it. It's like Gourgeist, I get all the 4 varieties of Gourgeist, which means I can have a speed Gourgeist, I can do sweeping, I can have a super bulky Gourgeist who can set up Trick Room, and I can have everything in between. The Leech Seed set together with, of course, Substitute works due to the transfer move, enhanced synthesis, and more likely, thanks to, of course, the expanded move pool, it also has Poltergeist. So it's just overall a phenomenal Pokemon, and there is really nothing like this in a draft league environment. You get 3 Pokemon for 1. It's the same Pokemon, sure, but dictating its speed here, that's a problem my opponents need to take stand for, not me, and that's kind of awesome. Now, here comes a pick that I was lingering to get all the time. I was suggesting it every round, but it's gonna go anytime. It's gonna go anytime. Irish told me, don't get it. It's not that good. And Eric kept telling me, yeah, let's take that route. And I backed out on it so many times because I just needed to patch my original idea every time. But I got Miltank. Round 10 Miltank. Never experienced this ever in a league draft. It's not that it is, a elusive great Pokemon, but it is defined as one of those defensive Pokemons that fills a lot of niches. It's got Heal Bell, Aromatisse, Heal Bell, Miltank, it got Stealth Rocks. It's a very good support Pokemon. It has Thick Fat to negate, I was going to say, but Parry, Ice, and Fire types. It has Sap Zipper to pretty much tell Delmise and Decidueye to get the fuck out of here. And Sap Zipper makes sure that, of course, the poor Rillaboom is not going to do anything soon, and boost Miltank's attack, and that's going to be wow. So it just it's so awesome. So Irish kept telling me that's a bad Pokemon for the team because already it's somewhat fighting weak, and I agree. But I want Miltank, so I got Miltank. And here comes the last round. Like, I had no real vision. We were leveling if we're gonna get Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee. I had a lot of spare points for Fire type, and I couldn't make up my mind what I really wanted. But eventually, like, once we started boil down with it was, do I need to have hazard control in a metagame that is defined by no hazards? No. I have a Magic Bouncer, I have Defog and on both Scyther and Rotom. What's it called? Dishwasher. But eventually just, you know what? Why not turn this one around? As I don't have any real spinner, why if I don't get a Pokemon that is Defiant, that could punish switch-ins? I was thinking Machamp, but not going to take that away. That was absolutely a Pokemon I was thinking about. But Pissimian was the one that stood out for me. Machamp might be the better for Trick Room, and it has a better bulk. But Defiant means that most teams gotta think over whether or not they want to go with a strategy that's gonna negate me stats at the Sticker Web and whatnot. So I think Miss Pissimian makes sense. Now, all of these 11 can anytime soon be kicked out. I have 3 trades to use, but overall, I think this team turned turned out quite decent. I didn't get anything I really set out to do, and I'll figure by all the Pokemons I got, I think the ones I got that I really wanted was Melmetal, Rotom-wash, Zyter, Hatterini, Salazzle, Miltank. So I got 6 out of 5. I guess that's right. They were never in my original division besides Melmetal after I got it, because I always draft with the first Pokemon I get, and like, where are their optimization? And I think I kind of falter on that very, very, very fast. But overall, I'm happy. I think this will work out, and even if it doesn't matter. I am here to have fun. I'm here to be creative, and the league I'm playing this season is not gonna be, I'm gonna win this shit. I'm not after this. I'm not after the elite score I can get. I'm not doing that. But I'm absolutely gonna try to pressure my opponents and make sure that they second guess themselves. And if this leads to a playoff, that's awesome. But it doesn't have to. I feel I play enough Pokemon as it is, and I just want to be creative and, you know, make as fun and good content for you guys who take the time of your day to actually watch my stuff. I think you guys are the reason I keep doing this, and you guys really, really mean a lot to me. This is just a silly hobby for me, and knowing I have people that take their day off watching what I do, it's like, I respect you guys for that. You guys are awesome. That's really all I can say. But support me in any way you can for Scandinavian Southlands, and I'll try to provide as much of dumb content as I can do. So as always, guys, really mean this. Thank you as always for watching, and have a great day, everyone. Oh, also check out to everybody else in the UBL. Kind of figuring they're new to promotion. I'm the big channel here. Channel is sinking. Take care, everyone. Bye.